Hello and welcome to today's edition of Mexico News Network's Breaking News Business. I'm Elliot Bullman. Let's start with today's show. Broadcasters Televisa and TV AZTECA have renewed their TV deal for rights to the Mexican national team until after the 2026 World Cup, the Mexican Football Federation announced last Friday. There had been a separate and, according to various reports, more lucrative proposal above $200 million for the broadcast rights from a joint bid from NBC Universal, Telemundo and América Móvil, owned by Mexican business magnate Carlos Slim. But the previous contract with Televisa and TV AZTECA contained an automatic renewal clause, meaning that the other proposals couldn't be considered. Santos Laguna owner Alejandro Irarrágorri, who was part of the FMF's commercialization committee, said that an agreement had been reached which will substantially improve the terms for the different markets. Liga MX clubs owners did, however, vote on the new deal, with 12 voting in favor and 4 against. In Mexico, club owners have an important say in the way the FMF is run, and they met on Friday at the league offices to discuss the new deal. TV rights at league level have opened up in recent years as rival broadcasters challenged the traditional Televisa-TV AZTECA duopoly, sparking speculation that the national team would also look to open up the bidding process. In other news, steelmakers Ternium and Arcelormittal have jointly announced investments in Mexico that will total $2.1 billion by 2020. Ternium plans to install a new state-of-the-art rolling mill at its industrial center in Pesquería, Nuevo León, allowing for an upgrade to Mexico's steel production capacity and expansion of the company's automotive sector product range. The new mill represents an investment of $1.1 billion and will have an annual capacity of 3.7 million tons. It's expected to be operational by the second half of 2020. Meanwhile, Indian steel magnate Mittal said that starting immediately, ArcelorMittal will modernize assets at the Pacific coast port of Lázaro Cárdenas with a $1 billion investment. Lázaro Cárdenas is home to ArcelorMittal's primary steelmaking operations in Mexico. The investment covers construction of a new hot strip mill, which upon completion in about 3 years will allow production of 2.5 million tons of flat-rolled steel. The investment will also boost the company's mining operations in Mexico. Moving on. 3 special economic zones in southeastern Mexico are forecast to benefit from $5.3 billion in private sector investment and the creation of 12,000 new jobs over the next 3 years. President Enrique Peña Nieto signed decrees last Friday for the creation of the zones in Coatzacoalcos, Veracruz, Lázaro Cárdenas, Michoacán, and Puerto Chiapas, Chiapas. He described it as a great milestone for the southern region of the country. Peña Nieto also said the zones, modeled on similar initiatives in other parts of the world, were designed to encourage the development of the poorest areas of the country and allow them to catch up to other regions. While central, western and northern Mexico are job-creating areas, the south has steadily fallen behind for decades. Peña Nieto said the task at hand is not an easy or fast one, and its results will not be seen during his administration. He said, "We're sowing seeds in fertile ground where an economic model is most needed." The plan is to scrap welfare policies that only mitigate poverty and instead shift the focus to productive investment, capital formation and education. The special economic zones will offer incentives to attract investment and educational institutions. And finally, let's turn to the markets. The Mexican peso increased 0.04 or 0.23% to 18.27 from 18.22 in the previous trading session. IPC Mexico increased 155 points or 0.31% to 50,501 from 50,346 in the previous trading session. This was all for today. Thank you for staying with us. I'm your host, Elliot Bullman. Remember to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+, and log on to MexicoNewsNetwork.com for more information on Mexico and the world. Until next time.